Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice Radio, so today we're going to be looking at pre-releases, Forbidden Light pre-releases to be specific. We're going to be looking at what's good. We're going to be looking at what you should play, and hopefully you are going to be winning some pre-releases, and if and when you do, let me know below. In fact, no matter what happens at your pre-release, let me know down below. I would be delighted to hear it. Now, the usual rules of pre-releases still apply. GXs are still good. If you pull a Zygarde GX, make sure you pop it into your deck. And you're playing pretty much every trainer you get, although to be honest, in this set, maybe that's not quite true. Something like a Bonnie, which allows your Zygarde GX to use its GX attack more than once, maybe you only play that if you're playing Zygarde. Similarly, Diantha is great for searching your deck for cards if a fairy Pokemon is knocked out. If you're not playing fairy Pokemon, don't play Diantha. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on the lesser played Pokemon. Obviously, ones like Diancie, Prism Star that add 20 damage to your fighting Pokemon's attacks are always good. So I'm going to bring you a top 5 here, and then I'm going to bring you my super secret special tips at the end that I really do think are a cut above. In no particular order, we have got Xurkitree. Now, Xurkitree is really good, ladies and gentlemen, for 3 reasons. Firstly, it's a basic. Secondly, it does a little bit of damage, but most importantly, it uses confusion. And in pre-release tournaments, confusion is absolutely brilliant. All special conditions are great in pre-releases. In Forbidden Light, there are no switching cards. Your opponent cannot switch. So what that means is that if you put your opponent into confusion, they either retreat out of it, or they have to flip a coin, and if tails, they take 30 damage and the attack fails. There is no other way around it. There are no switching cards in Forbidden Light, which is kind of fun for you. 20 damage plus confusion on a basic for a single energy. That's really good, and that is going to frustrate your opponent. It is also one of the pre-release promos, so you got a 1 in 4 chance of getting this just as your promo card. As a nice little bonus, if you can take 1 prize and get free energy on here, instant paralysis. There are no switching cards in Forbidden Light, which means if you attack with Xurkitree with 3 prizes remaining, you will get a KO. No ifs, buts, or maybes, you will get a KO. Your opponent cannot get out of paralysis. We've also got Rockruff and Lycanroc, and they're actually pretty good as a little bit of a pair. Now, the Rockruff does attack for 2 energy, which is a bit of a pain. It does 50 damage, flip a coin, if tails, you do nothing. 50 damage on a basic in a pre-release, not too bad, although the flipping of tails would suck. When you have Lycanroc up and rolling, 20 damage for 2 energy, plus 20 more for each of your opponent's bench. If they fill up their bench, you're doing 120 for 2 energy, that's good. If they're not filling up their bench, they're not setting up and evolving other Pokemon, which is far more important in a pre-release when you have slower, less consistent decks. That sounds like a bit of fun to me. And here's a Pokemon you're not going to hear me talking about outside of a pre-release. How about Gogoat and Skiddo? Skiddo, for 1 energy, you get to attach a grass energy from your hand to this Pokemon, which means by turn 2, you've got free energy on Skiddo, you evolve into a Gogoat, free energy 120, 30 to yourself. Free energy 120 is very meh. In regular circumstances, 120 in a pre-release is absolutely great. And you can get it going in 2 turns using Skiddo's first attack. And you've even got an attack for 1 energy here. Flip 2 coins for each heads, heal 40 from this Pokemon. Either you use it to heal the damage you did with Double Edge, or you use it when your opponent's attacking just to buy some time to evolve the rest of your Pokemon. I'm also a big fan of FURFROU here. FURFROU is great for setting up. It's a colorless basic Pokemon that attacks for 1 energy, so it can be put into any deck. 20 damage, draw until you got 5 cards in your hand. Now, you tend to have slightly larger hand sizes in a pre-release, but either so, that's still pretty good, because if you are playing a few cards, benching a bunch of Pokemon, this is great draw power. It's pretty much the best little draw power thing we've got in this set, and that sounds pretty good to me. And finally, in this particular top 5 bit of the video anyway, how about Uxie? Again, not great outside of a pre-release, but in a pre-release, pretty gosh darn nice. 1 psychic energy, 30 damage, and you can choose an attack and stop your opponent using it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty nice, because a lot of these Pokemon are going to have 1 attack your opponent wants to use. I mean, let's say you're against Gogoat, you turn off their main attack, and all they can do is heal. And okay, they will pretty much be healing all the damage you do to them, but you'll stop them attacking while you get rolling. Sounds good. But there are 3 Pokemon that do stand above the rest here. And first of all, in a move that's basically broken for pre-releases, we've got Buzzwole. Ladies and gentlemen, Buzzwole could be a problem. For 1 fighting energy, 30 damage, but 90 more if your opponent has exactly 4 prizes remaining. The problem is, in a pre-release, everybody starts with 4 prizes remaining, which means Buzzwole will do 120 damage for 1 energy from the very first turn of the game. That is not good. Now, Buzzwole might seem a little bit broken, but it's not that bad. We've got a few ways to beat it, including the next 2 on this list, and also Uxie. Uxie hits for weakness while turning off Sledgehammer, which means, now you can't put Uxie in against a Buzzwole if you're going first, but if you get the first attack, you hit for 60, they can't use Sledgehammer, you hit for 60, and if you hit it twice, they've only got 10 HP remaining. Yeah, when they get free energy on, they can do 80 damage, flip 2 coins, 20 more for each heads, but Uxie comes in here very nicely. It is a great counter to Buzzwole. As is Dusk main Necrozma. Dusk main Necrozma is basically set up here to destroy Buzzwole decks. You see, if we look at Dusk main Necrozma here, 1 energy, 60 damage to one of your opponent's EXs and GXs. I mean, if you're against an EX or a GX, that could actually be quite good in the early game. But free energy, 100 damage. If your opponent has 1 prize card remaining, it does 200. So if you're against a Buzzwole, you let them take a KO and attach an energy. You let them take a KO and attach an energy. You let them take a KO and attach an energy, and by the time they've taken 3 KOs, you're going to have at least 3 energy on the field, and then you come in with Dusk main Necrozma and do 200. And because they've got 1 prize card remaining, you'll keep doing 200, which means you let your opponent take 3 prizes and then just go 200, 200, 200, 200, and you win the game. And Buzzwole will no longer be doing 120 for 1 energy because you don't have 4 prizes remaining. Guide Buzzwole. Dusk main Necrozma will keep it in check. But my very favourite card for pre-releases in Forbidden Light, and if you can get this working, you win, Barbaracle. You see, Barbaracle is a very interesting card, because if you've got exactly 7 cards in your hand, you get automatic paralysis. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, automatic paralysis. And did I mention there are no switching cards in Forbidden Light? Which means, if you can get 7 cards in your hand, you're winning. Now, it's not ideal because you start with 7 here and you're going to have to bench some Pokemon, attach 2 energy, evolve to Barbaracle, etc. If your opponent mulligans, you'll be better off. And here's the thing, right? A lot of people at pre-releases want to play these ridiculous decks where they play 2 Buzzwole and 38 energy. So they guarantee they start a Buzzwole, and then they just hit 120 every turn. So what you do is take advantage of all their mulligans, start with a hand of 10, 11, 12 cards, get a Barbaracle working, and you will always paralyze as long as you can just get 7 cards in your hand. And as soon as you're attacking with Barbaracle, you don't need to do anything. Every time you draw a card, play a card, but then you're up and rolling. Your opponent can't switch out of it. There's nothing they can do except sit there and be paralyzed. Now, one big problem with this particular theory, there is a reprint of Judge coming in this set, and Judge will put you down to a 4-card hand, and like I said, if you draw a Judge, you're playing a Judge, so Judge will kind of screw this up, which is a little bit sad. Outside of that, if your opponent is playing an all Buzzwole deck, Uxie should smash it. Dusk main Necrozma should smash it, and BARBARACLE should smash it. Do consider playing these cards to screw over that person at your pre-release that thinks it's hilarious to play 1 or 2 Buzzwole and 38-39 energy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my pick. Or I should say picks. For the best cards from Forbidden Light in terms of pre-releases. Obviously, these are not all going to be great in real tournaments, but they don't have to be, because at pre-releases, they're going to be an awful lot of fun. But ladies and gentlemen, it's story time. Tell me what you played at your pre-release. This video did miss the first weekend of pre-releases because there were so many new cards and news dropping. Seriously, Friday and Saturday and Thursday. I think I did three video days in a row, which is nuts. That's how much news came out. But let me know what you played at your pre-release this weekend. Tell me what pre-releases you're going to next weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me your stories. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Uxie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And do check out my video game / Dragon Ball Super channel, Uxie Plays. We uploaded a new video yesterday. We're getting close to 1,000 subs. I think you'll like it, so go and check that out. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.